This is a 1990 Volvo 740. It's great. It's got a lot of safety features. If you have a front end collision, there's so much crumple room between you and the car. It's got a 4-cylinder engine. It doesn't get as good gas mileage because of how heavy it is, but it's still a great car with leather interior, a sunroof, a huge trunk for when you go traveling. That it was the one thing that I saw about the Highlander, is that the trunk just isn't really that big compared to other SUVs like a Ford Explorer. But you still got 17-inch wheels. It's great. It's comfortable. It's a real smooth ride. So first I'd like to start out with saying that this car is really cheap. Not cheap as in the sense of how it feels. It's literally cheap. I mean, you could find one of these for under $3 grand. This car, the owner got it for free. It has 100,000 miles on it. It has no issues at all. You know, it's a really good car considering, you know, it's a 1990. It's older than I am. But, you know, for the price that you can get it for, it's a really good first person's car. You know, it's great for, you know, college kids and things like that. I mean, I get that the outside really isn't what people are looking for. But, you know, once you get in it, it's not loud. You know, it's really comfortable. Once you hit third gear, everything really kind of just quiets down. You know, it gets into its zone and, you know, you can hit your top speed or your cruising speed and it is a smooth ride, like I said before on the Kickstarter video. You know, it's really worth the money. It's easy to maintain. It's cheap to maintain. You know, as always, there's going to be pros and cons to everything. I always share a lot of pros about this car because, you know, I've been driving it for a couple weeks now, and it's great. You know, I can't stress how much people need to get this car. You know, if you love cars, or if you want to learn about cars, or if you're just looking for a cheap car, get a Volvo. You know, they're great. They're luxury. They're European, you know, and like I said, they're easy to maintain. That's the main thing that I like about this car. It's just how easy it is to maintain. When we had that 13-inch rainstorm the other day, I took this car underwater. It literally was a submarine for about a minute. And it didn't die, didn't stutter, nothing happened. Well, alright, one thing did happen. The bolts on the catalytic converter kind of came loose a little bit. So it was just like, you know, flopping around and made a lot of noise. But, you know, I just went underneath the car, I twisted the bolts back together, and it's great. You know, it's right back to normal. I was passing cars that were literally floating in the rivers of water that were made by that storm. But, you know, it's a really good car. I really suggest everybody get one. Now, the cons that I have, well, the gas mileage, you get about 17 miles to the gallon. 19 if you're a really good driver. I'm a good driver. 19 if you're, you know, like a slow driver. But, you know, 17 really isn't bad. Obviously it's bad, but to me it's really not bad. I've owned a lot of cars. You know, the Ford Explorer, nothing will beat that. I got, you know, about 10 miles to the gallon. You know, so it's really, really bad. But compared to that, it's twice as good, almost. But another con that I have is the throttle response really isn't there sometimes. You know, you can get off the line, you know, you're not going to be holding people up in traffic, but sometimes when you're in second going to third, or third going to fourth, it's just, it tries to catch up with itself, and it's just not that quick. But like I said, once you hit that third gear, you just cruise all the way there, and you know, it gets up to top speed. Everything quiets down. There's not a lot of road noise. There's not a lot of tire noise or anything, you know. It's a luxury European car. Now, one thing that ticks me off about other drivers on the road is the fact that every corner, even if it's not a corner, it could be a bend on the highway, people like to hit their brakes and like to slow down for every single turn, and I never understood that. And this being, well, I thought it was going to be a boat. So this, you know, thinking that this was going to be a boat, I thought I was going to learn why everybody hits the brakes when they go around bends and why they go, you know, 2 miles an hour around a corner. However, I haven't really learned that. This car can actually go around a corner at, you know, maintaining speed, which is, you know, what cars are meant to do. You're supposed to maintain speed as you go around the corner. So I still don't understand why people hit the brakes, but as a pro to this car, it's really good at taking corners. You don't have too much lean. You're not falling out of your seat or anything. And I mean, these seats are big and these seats are comfortable. So you'll have a real good time and you'll be a real comfortable driver when you're driving it. I keep saying that this car is European and luxury like it's, a Mercedes S-Class. Now, the Mercedes S-Class is my favorite car, so I would never say that a car is like a Mercedes S-Class, because if it's not a Mercedes S-Class, it's not a Mercedes S-Class. However, this car gives you the feeling of de-stressing, and there's a test actually done on the S-Class Mercedes that the average S-Class driver actually gains more life back because his heart beats 10 times less per minute. And I thought that was a great piece of information that scientists had looked up. And I feel that my heart might not beat 10 beats less a minute, but it's definitely beating less. And I'm definitely being less stressed in this car, sitting in these seats. I can't stress it enough. It is a real smooth ride, and I love it. Gotta get one.